Slide to the right a little bit. There you go. Ah, did it again. Please turn that off. Dean, you're not in the shot.
Oh my goodness. Where do I have to be?
Right there.
What about that? I lean back.
Bro, this is ridiculous.
Use my Bible case. I'm gonna lean like this so no one can see how. Why is it?
Can he please turn that off? Bro, it's so annoying. Is it
Dude,
good?
just slide close to Alex. Alex slide in closer to Landon.
It should be good. Here, I'll put that right there just to make it. There, that's good. That's good. So it don't fall. Alright.
Alright.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Hit him with the welcome back. Welcome back.
Alright. Welcome back to the Extra Point College Football Podcast. I'm Max Santa.
I'm Dean Williamson.
Alex Martin.
Landon Jordan.
I'm Josh Cornancer.
And Noah Spears over there. He's witnessing this greatness. Alright, so our action doesn't start this week until 3:30. But before we do that, let's take a look back at the week that was.
Can we sing a song and y'all help me sing it?
What?
I have no reason.
Can I start a song, y'all help me sing it?
I have no reason.
We'll sing in harmony.
Well, you don't get a damn about the whole state of Michigan. That's it, Dan. That's it, dang, dude. What's the problem?
I thought you said that.
Because we're from Ohio. Oh, wait!
Oh, I'm serious. I want everybody to sing it with me. You ready?
When I die, I'll be talking a bit. Rock,
Go, Tar Holes.
Go, Cavaliers.
Oh, I can't say that. Oh.
What are you doing?
It's
It's
a
a
prayer.
prayer.
It's a prayer.
Whoa!
It just said no way.
Okay, we're way off topic right now.
Hey, this one, I might as well just go.
Hey, I'm reeling this back in. Alright, so last week the Buckeyes took care of business. I was in the house. We'll be posting right here on the Extra Point Pod on Instagram videos and clips of that greatness that happened on Saturday. Very loud environment, incredible, way better than Georgia was when I went this past year. So yeah, I mean, nothing more to explain about that. 105,000, all in Scarlet. It was a great atmosphere.
Sounds
So
like a terrible place to be. Absolutely terrible.
it was beautiful.
Hey, they still sinners in this world, especially in Ohio, so. Living proof, 105,000 of them.
And when you got the best fans in the land and the best band in the land, it don't matter. All else will take care of itself. And BIA is back. Those are my statements.
Harbaugh's still 2-1 against Ryan Day.
Let's talk about that real quick. What do you think's gonna happen to the cheaters?
I don't think they're guilty.
Charges, but guilty.
It's starting to seem
A one-game suspension.
It's starting to seem a little too clear. Like it's almost like everything's coming to light too obviously. It was
Every
What?
team in
I
the
don't-
country definitely has somebody.
Yeah,
I would say
every
team does
Every
some
team
form
does
of that. Pick them all out.
I don't think any team is not guilty of doing so. It's that Michigan is getting caught doing it. I don't think that you can say they are guilty of it without surefire evidence.
Michigan against the world. Yeah.
I'm getting flagged.
I think they're guilty. I mean, we can't for sure say what's gonna happen until like everything comes to place. But I think if they're guilty, I think wins get vacated and like they have a bowl ban, and it's gonna be like huge on like implications. That's gonna be the most hostile, dude. With all this going on right now, oh my, dude, that game's gonna be insane this year.
At Michigan, the big house. Let's go.
Ryan Davis.
Let's go. Ryan Day loses his job. 11-1, doesn't matter. Looks good.
Georgia's got a task this weekend. That's coming up soon.
Looks good. Super cool.
Tennessee lost to Alabama. They were up at half 20-7 and decided to give the game away. So Morgan Wallen cannot make another song about Tennessee beating Alabama. Ole Miss took care of business at Auburn. It was close for a little while, but they ended up covering the spread. You can answer it. And then Duke and Florida State ended up taking care of Duke in big time fashion there. And then also USC got smoked against Utah,
Yeah.
and the Utes rolled. I was happy about
Yeah,
that.
give me the Utes.
So yeah, I mean that's the week that was. Oh, and I forgot one thing.
Well,
So
we
we
talked
talked
about-
about addressed it.
should we talk about
North
the-
Carolina lost to Virginia. Alex at the game. Alex, what happened?
Well, there's three things that happened, right?
All right.
One, we couldn't punt the ball. Two, coaching was bad. And three, I was there.
The curse
three
of Chapel
reasons.
Hill. The curse of Chapel Hill.
I think we should have a segment about this because I think this was by far like one of the biggest upsets this season.
Yeah.
I mean, as a lifelong North Carolina fan, I am not surprised that this happened. This has happened every year. I witnessed it last year against Georgia Tech. I was also there. The damage was already done. The damage was done. I mean, just
Walker in basketball.
this has been happening. This happened in Matt Brown's first tenure and happened in his second tenure. The North Carolina football program cannot handle success. We can't do it. We cannot do it.
Go to
I
the
mean,
basketball program.
This is it. What?
I'm kidding.
This is since 2020 that North Carolina has been favored by double digits. Start with 2020, Florida State, 13.5 point favorite, loss. Georgia Tech, 14.5 point favorite, loss. Florida State, 2021, 17.5 favorite, loss. South Carolina, 2021, 12 point favorite, loss. Last year against Georgia Tech, 21.5 point favorite, loss. And also this year with Virginia, 23.5 point favorite, loss. If that's not an indictment on a program, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
We did this also in 1996 when North Carolina was fifth in the country and our quarterback threw a 96 yards pick six and ended up losing the game to Virginia. So this is like, it's like.
When's it again?
What? Oh, that's since 2020.
Would you say this is an indictment on Matt Brown?
Yes, it is. 'Cause this is a Matt Brown special. It's what he does. We can recruit good, but when it comes to like getting over that hump, we
Yeah.
can't do it. We can't do it.
Yeah.
And then in the game, now granted, this game should have been over in the first quarter. First major problem, we couldn't punt the ball. Our punter got basically killed against Syracuse when his face mask got broken off of a
I
block
saw
play.
that.
So our punter that came in, he looked like he never could. He looked like he never punted the ball before.
The other guy that played this weekend?
No, he's out. He's hurt.
Oh, what does he have?
I don't know. I
Probably
got
concussion.
hurt. Probably concussion. His face mask got broken.
I saw that. That was wild.
But I don't think we could punt the ball more than 20 yards.
Should've went back in the game.
Virginia got the ball on Carolina side of the 50 every time. I mean, that changes your whole defensive scheme and everything. So that was the one thing. Two was the coaching. You go into Virginia, who has the worst rush defense in the ACC. They're 1-5.
Yeah.
I would argue that I think North Carolina is one of the best running backs in the ACC with Marion Hampton. He ran 197 yards against Miami.
Yeah.
Against Miami, 197.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do against Virginia?
Miami got a good defensive line.
We throw the ball 48 times. 48 times. I think it was obvious in the first quarter that Drake May was off. He was overthrowing people. Our offensive line couldn't protect him. And our receivers were dropping the ball. I think it was pretty clear in the first half that our passing offense wasn't there. So what would a normal team do in a game that you can't lose? You start running the ball, right? Our Marion Hampton in the second half had 5 carries. 5. His last carry came with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. We did not, our Marion Hampton did not run the ball the last 8 minutes of the game. Matt Brown has been coaching, he's ancient. He's been coaching forever, and you can't figure that out. You can't make adjustments in game. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how you refuse to make in-game adjustments when he's been coaching for so long.
Yeah.
After the game, he's like, oh, yeah, it's on me, we should have ran the ball more. You can't figure that out during the game. Against Virginia. Against Virginia. I don't get it. And he was averaging 8 yards a carry. And he only ran 4 or 5 times. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, it was a systematic meltdown of a.
I think you have a lot to say, actually. That's somebody.
I mean, it's just inexcusable. I can't defend it. We lost to a 1-5 Virginia team.
Really, that should be like an 0-6 Virginia team. They barely beat William
I
and
mean,
Mary.
I
Hold
don't.
on, you 2-5, man, be quiet.
We're 3-4, thank you very much. Better than that.
Really back in. I just don't. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. What do you say? What?
Is that at least Matt Brown doesn't have anger issues in practice leg?
Well, I would rather break his leg than not being able to coach after he's 87 years old. But I don't know. The key part, I mean, we're still 6-1 at a grand scheme. In the old grand scheme, we're 6-1.
Yeah.
We still have. I mean, we still have like it's up to us. We can still get the ACC championship. It all depends if we win against Georgia Tech on Saturday, because that will determine if this team can handle failure. Can't handle success, but if we don't win Saturday, this team's made of wet paper. It's like it was
You got
last
5 games left. You got Georgia Tech, Campbell, Duke, Clemson, NC State.
I think if we win against Georgia Tech, we're fine. Because when we lost Georgia Tech last year, the wheels completely fell off. We didn't win a single game after that. That team was made of wet paper.
I don't think
But-
anybody's gonna show up for the game of at Clemson.
Hey, hey now.
Hey,
Hold on a second.
Hey, it'll be like
Alex
Paul
will be there,
Brady.
so we're gonna win the game somehow.
I'm like done on game check. Well, I'm 1-4. I'm 1-4.
We're gonna have a 12
Let's
o'clock
not
kick
forget the
for
Wofford
that
basketball
game.
game.
What?
Let's not forget the Wofford basketball game.
That's gonna be.
Why are you talking
That's
crap
gonna be
about
2
talking
o'clock
about
on the
basketball?
CW.
You have no reason to be talking about basketball over there. None.
College podcast.
None.
All right.
But that was the analysis on the complete disaster of a game.
What?
No.
I had to let that
We're
happen.
still doing recaps, Vest.
We just had a rant.
We just had a rant. I had to get that out of my system.
All right.
What are you saying?
He said he won't live very long here.
Let's move on.
All right, let's take a look at this week. First game is at 3:30 on CBS. The world's largest cocktail party.
Let's go. Keep doing your discipline, you keep chopping wood, let's go. Kirby Paul Smart said that one.
Number 1 Georgia, favored by 14.5 versus Florida on CBS. And I think this game is like Georgia's first actual test, because I think they win big at home and they go on the road and they poop their pants. Well, they don't lose games, but they definitely don't look good playing. They gave up 20 to Vanderbilt on the road, and that was their last game they played, and they had a bye week this week. Did Florida have a bye week as well this week?
They always get it.
Okay.
Both.
So this game, I think it comes down to how well Florida can run the ball. I don't think this game is gonna like fall in the hands of Graham Mertz. I think it's more about how Florida runs the ball against Georgia's defense and how they execute third downs. Statistically, right now, Georgia's the best defense on third downs, and I think that it's definitely going to come down to those conversions right there. I mean, obviously, you saw this past weekend against Ohio State, Penn State. Penn State had like a 6% chance of converting third downs, and so you kind of saw how that game went this past Saturday. So converting third downs is big, running the football well, and Graham Mertz not making mistakes against the Georgia defense. I think that this is going to be a closer game than the spread indicates. I think it'll be about a 10-point game. I think Georgia will win, but I think Florida covers the spread.
I agree. I mean, I don't see it being like a high-scoring game at all. I mean,
Yeah.
Georgia just lost their best offensive player. I think their offensive side of the ball is going to change a lot coming in this game. I think this game's going to be obvious. I still think Georgia wins by like a touchdown.
Yeah, I got Georgia winning but Florida covering. I don't think we really expected Florida to be like 5-2 at this point.
Yeah.
They haven't looked bad. And honestly, only reason I have Florida covering is because Brock Bowers is out. But I still think Georgia is still very much good enough to win this game. I think they'll win by like 10 points.
Looks, our special guest, Spear and Tanner, and they will let cortisone, I
I
got this
think-
thing off.
This is the game Georgia fumbles. Florida wins by 2 touchdowns.
Yes,
Spear!
They're going
Yes.
down.
I think Georgia falls apart without Brock Bowers. Florida wins.
Georgia's over. Georgia's done.
Tanner,
If
you
they
up?
lose by 2 touchdowns, I might jump off the wall building.
Hey,
No, I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die. I don't
Hey,
want you to
we'll
break
shake, but we'll both do it.
Best you up. Hey, anything can happen.
You know, I think it's gonna be a close game. Especially with Brock Bowers being out, but, I mean, the Gators, they take in at third in the SEC East with a 3-1 conference. They won, 2 straight since they threw whatever they had going against Kentucky, I don't know what that was. They also got a win over Tennessee under their belt. And I think with Georgia losing their star tight end for the next 2 weeks, I think even though they're averaging 500 yards per game and they're ranked, I think they're ranked top 10 nationally in passing, scoring offense, and scoring defense. But I think the Gators, I think they put up a fight again early, but I still think Georgia has a good enough team to win this game. But having dropped Bowers out, that's their heart and soul. That is their outfit, like everything has one. Ohio State has Marvin Harrison. Georgia, they're gonna have to find that outfit to get them out of it. And with Brock Bowers out, you don't know who it's gonna be. But I think Georgia, I think the first half is close. I think the third quarter it stays a little closer, but towards the end of the third quarter and late in the game, I think they pull away with it.
I've got the Bulldogs. I think that they're gonna have to change their play styles. I think you're gonna see a lot more Georgia runs, and then that's gonna start opening up the pass game, and you'll see Georgia win by about 17 points.
I really think Florida covers the spread though, but I think it's gonna be a much closer game than people think though. But I have Georgia win.
Who's up?
You.
Floor's mine. Okay. First of all, I just wanted to get out there. This is one of them games, it's not as big as Michigan Ohio State. It's one of them games where you can seriously roll up 2-5, another team roll up 7-0. And 2-5 team would be just as in there as a 7-0 football team. But, like me and Max have discussed, every other person in America thinks Carson Beck is terrible. This is one of those weeks I feel like Georgia's gonna get back to before they had Stetson Bennett and they'll do swing passes around the outside. They'll throw little 5-yard stuff to their running backs. They're gonna be using, I feel like Georgia's gonna be going back to their run game and small game stuff. They'll have Lawson Lucky, Oscar Delt. It'll be more of a blocking tight end situation. They're not gonna try to do that extravagant this weekend, passing wise, I don't think. I feel like, I know one big thing is Lav McConkey's good this weekend, so that he's back to full, so that will help a little bit. But I still feel like Georgia's gonna get back to that old Jake Fromm, DeAndre Swift type thing, throwing it outside, doing stuff run out, just keeping the running backs kind of running and passing check. I feel like Georgia will win by 17. I feel like it's a big proving weekend for Georgia. I mean, if you want to be known as, I was actually watching something the other day, and they was showing right now if they had to pick the top 6 teams, they had Georgia at number 6. So I feel like this is huge for Georgia's proving point. I mean, it don't matter 5-2, what 4 it is. Georgia covered the spread here. They're easily top 4. I mean, it's a rivalry game. I mean, anything can happen. So if you put your rival away with a 3-possession winning game like you deserve it, this is huge for Kirby Smart. I mean, this is just a stretch. Georgia's November this is not a normal Missouri team. So you get a win over Florida, you play Missouri at home. Missouri's a one-loss team coming into Georgia. They have a bye week this week. So they're one loss coming in Georgia, and you got Ole Miss, and you go to Knoxville. That's 4 in a row. So this is kind of a start and stretch. It'll be physical. This is really, I mean, for the next 2 weeks, you got the SEC East Championship on the line. Florida, Missouri, both 3-1 in conference. So I think this is a big week for Georgia. They step up. Got the Dogs winning by 17.
Alright, so another 3:30 game that's gonna be good. This is actually called Game Day on Fox. Is number 8 Oregon, favored by 6.5 at number 13 Utah. I think that this is a tough game. I feel like Barnes might be a little overrated right now because of he played the USC defense. And I think I'm gonna change my pick on this game as far as the point spread goes. I think Utah has a good defense. That game is in Salt Lake. But I think Oregon is a really good physical team. I still do feel like they believe they should be in the top 5, regardless of the loss. I think they're still a good team. I think they're 2 good teams that could go after it. And I think if that game's in Eugene, I think there's a different outcome. I think that Oregon will cover the spread. I previously had Utah covering, but I think I'm going to change it to Oregon covering it. This game is going to be, I think Salt Lake's an underrated environment at Utah, but I think Oregon's just got too much. I don't think they're going to have what it takes to keep up points-wise against Utah. And Oregon did give up a lot of points to Washington, but that's Washington we're talking about versus a Utah offense who doesn't have Cam Rising or their best tight end. I think that they get it done on the road at Utah.
I agree. Oregon and Washington both struggled last week. They're coming off their biggest games of the season. They were prepping for that game. And they come off to 2 relatively easy teams, and they both struggled. I think Oregon gets back to what they were doing earlier in the season. And I think they beat them. I think they beat Utah by 14. I think Utah. I don't know. I don't know if Utah's offense can keep up with Oregon.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth about this all day. I'm going Oregon. Utah's defense is good, but I think Oregon has an all-around better solid offense than USC does. Overall, as an overall unit working together.
Yeah.
I have not been sold on Utah's offense all season. They play California, they're terrible. And they played against probably one of the worst defenses in the country.
Mm-hmm.
If you look all before that, they barely score points. They barely score points on USC. They got destroyed by Oregon State. I think that game was 21-7. So I just don't. Oregon's got a relatively decent defense too. I'm gonna go to Oregon covers.
I got Oregon. They're physical, rough. They're still trying to make their case that they are a top 4 team. I don't 100% believe they're out of it yet. I believe they got a lot of proving to do, but they win these games convincingly. They're still in question. I feel like Oregon shows up big, wins by about 2 touchdowns this week. That's that.
Alright, I think I stand alone on this pick. Give me the Utes. I think this is the first real defense that Oregon will be facing. And this Utah team kind of reminds me of the Pittsburgh Steelers, where it is not the best offense, but you have a defense that can keep your offense in it.
I don't think that's a.
No,
I don't think that's a comparison.
I think it's a pretty fair comparison.
That's Clemson Tigers that you're talking about right now, actually. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's also a good comparison. But
Game manager with a pretty good defense. That's what he's saying.
yeah. I don't think Utah as a team is going to need their offense to put up a lot of points. I think their defense is going to be able to keep Oregon in check. And I think that Utah has found a pretty solid quarterback in this rotation. and I think they only need to score 21, 24 points to get this win, and I think they win about 24-17.
I agree with Dean. I think Oregon,
I'm taking Utah as well.
Utah, right?
And the reason I say that, I think if Oregon is going to want to stay in the game and win, they're going to have to use Bogan's legs a little bit. He's going to have to run a little bit, but Utah has been so great at just keeping the quarterback inside the pocket, and if they force him outside the pocket, they're able to keep coverage held down pretty good downfield. But I think the changing factor in the game, I do think Utah slows down Bucky Irvin a lot.
Bucky Irvin's the running back for Oregon. Wait, never mind. I was thinking of somebody else. Never mind. My bad. I apologize. Yeah, Utah's defense is good. I think it'll be a lower scoring game than the Washington game was. I think it's gonna be like.
I think it'll be a lower scoring game, and I think Utah, I would say they win the game by a field goal. I think they have it again. I think they win by a field goal, and I just think their defense keeps them in this game where the offense just, makes plays when they have to make plays. I have the defense scoring right here. I think they get a big two.
Wasn't it Utah against USC that whenever USC would do a sub, they would sub in
Yeah,
their
the biggest
biggest
player.
defensive lineman?
They've got a really, really smart head coach.
They're playing chess in a game of checkers, and I think that's what also is going to give them that edge, is that defense and the ability to just think outside the box when they need it most.
Kyle Whittingham masterclass this past Saturday on coaching the job. Top 10 coach in the country.
Oh, for sure.
Must be nice.
I stand by the Utes being
Yeah.
a three-peat Pac-12
Very
champion.
nice.
That's weird. I think Oregon wins.
You think Oregon wins?
I think their offense rolls right through.
Yes.
Right.
Enough said.
It rolls right through.
Enough said.
Josh from Mike.
Alright, next game at 3:30 on ESPN, number 20 Puke at number 18 Louisville.
Hey.
Carry my form.
That man said puke.
I think I'm gonna take Duke though with the points. I think they're gonna win. They're gonna beat Louisville. I think Louisville's a decent team. This game is at Louisville. I think it's gonna be low scoring, but I think Duke is still pretty good. Riley Leonard's playing, so I think they'll be fine on the road. Take down the Cards.
I'll be honest, there's multiple reasons why I picked the Blue Devils here. One, I honestly think they're gonna win the game. I mean, Riley Leonard, like, they played up to Florida State for the longest time, and then, like, it got away. Like, pretty fast. And then, yeah, Josh was right about that, by the way. Josh was actually right about that.
I
First half,
called
they
that
kept
game
close,
to
and then
a T.
second half, Florida State rolled. But the other reason why I'm picking the Blue Devils is for Alex Martin.
I think the Cards get it done.
Yes.
Yes.
With Riley Leonard being, he's being a set David Betty, and even if he did able to come back, the thing that helps him out a lot is his mobility and him able to make something out of nothing. And I think it's gonna hurt him a little bit with him having, I think it was a grade 2 AP joint sprain or something. And I do think that, with him being hurt, even if the backup had to come in, I know there wasn't a lot of snaps he got to take, but he couldn't hit a lot of throws and everything, but I think the Cards get it done. I think they will.
I agree with Tanner. Riley Leonard, he is not 100% yet.
Yeah.
They used him a little bit against Florida State. They were mainly like running the ball.
Yeah.
Now Louisville laid an absolute stinker against Pittsburgh. Was that last week?
I think
It was weekend we were at Florida.
Two weekends
it was 2 weeks ago, they had a
Yeah.
bye week last week.
But I think they were just on hangover after actually annihilating
Notre Dame.
So, which I can relate to Louisville. We did the same thing. We had a hangover game. But I think Louisville is still a really good team. I mean, they ran through Notre Dame at home. Louisville is a tough team to play at home. I think this game might be a shootout because
Yeah.
Duke is still a really good team, even without Leonard. Their defense is good, but Louisville knows that this game is like, there's like ACC championship like lines here.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, you also got Florida State, you got North Carolina, Duke, and Louisville all vying for that second spot. So I think Louisville.
You know who else is vying for that second spot? You
No.
know
No.
we have one loss in
You're
conference.
3-4. No one is.
We have
picking for- No.
one in conference loss.
We're not. Just forget that delusion over there. I think we'll.
Excuse me.
Who's gonna be behind?
Anyway, the Cards take down the Blue Devils at
Yeah, I
home.
mean, I do think that they do have, I do really like their defense a lot, but the reason I'm choosing the Cards is just because Riley Leonard, the thing that makes him so good, Matt, and the spot he is with that program is that he's able to make, like, if nothing's there, he's able to take off if he needs to and get out of the pocket and make a play happen, but he's not gonna be 100%. I mean, he ain't gonna come back off that and be 100%, so I do think that, I think the Cards win this one. I just think that the defense for Duke isn't gonna be able to hold it up for all 4 quarters, and I don't think they'll get much of a break in this game. And I think it's gonna tire them out, and I think we'll win this game.
I got the Cards by 10 to 14.
Yeah.
The fall of Duke. Yes. The fall of Duke. It starts this weekend.
Alright.
They'll go back to 8-14.
Alright, next game at 7 o'clock on ESPN.
Do I not
You already picked already.
No, I hadn't. They all
You just
lost.
ready to wrap up Virginia Tech.
Well, a little bit.
That's why you get
That
that was your speaking.
Yeah, that was your
Alright.
speaking point.
Give me the Blue Devils. I think what you're gonna see, you might see again, is a Riley Leonard starts the game. He doesn't finish the game. I think if you're gonna be if you're gonna be smart for Duke, you have to run the ball. You gotta keep Louisville's offense off the field. And I think what you do is you run the ball. You have Riley Leonard throw some passes. Try and build a big lead in the first half, knowing that Riley Leonard's probably not gonna play the entire game. You've got to build it about a 2 to 3 score lead in that first half if you want to be able to win against Louisville, and I think they do. I think it goes about 21 to 28, 21 or 28 to like 10 or 14 in the going into halftime, and I think Duke's able to win 31 to about 24, 28.
Alright, next game at 7 o'clock on ESPN, number 21 Tennessee, currently a 3.5 point favorite at Kentucky. This game's kind of weird. I mean, this game is at Kroger Field. Another, I feel like, underrated environment. Mark Stoops and boys. I just don't think that they have what it takes to beat Tennessee. I think Tennessee rolls. They can run the ball really well. They played really good in the first half against a really good Alabama defense, and then they decided to not score any points for the rest of the second half. And Alabama just put the throttle on and just destroyed them. But I think even that would have beaten Kentucky handily with that effort that they gave on this past Saturday. So I think if they go out and do that again, another road game, this tough stretch, I think they're gonna get it done now.
I agree. I still don't think Kentucky's still that good. Ever since we did like a preseason pick, I didn't think Kentucky. I didn't even think Kentucky was gonna be as good as they were now. Cause like I just don't. I'm not a big Devin Leary fan in general.
Yes.
But I still think Tennessee, if they can just do what they did in the first half against Bama, the entire game, even if they just do it in the first half, I think they can put Kentucky away.
Yeah, Kentucky had a good start, but the past 2 weeks have been terrible for them. They got destroyed. They also got blown out by Georgia. They should have just forfeited that game. And then they got murdered last week against Missouri. So yeah, Tennessee.
You talking about Georgia's best win of the season?
Alright, so I'll go next. I'm taking Tennessee. Here's why. Kentucky's one of those teams. They'll start out 4-0, 5-0. and then they'll run into something called a brick wall. Well, the brick wall happens to be this logo that I got right here on my shirt. But Georgia's gonna smack them in the mouth. They're starting to go downhill. Tennessee's terrible on the road, man. They're 0-2 on the year. But they will find a way to win. Kroger Field is a tough place, like Max says, underrated. But Tennessee wins. Kentucky just drops off from here. And that's what I got.
Give me the Vols. This is an easy pick for the week. I don't like Kentucky in this game. Tennessee rolls over them.
You know, Florida did, or no, I apologize, I messed up again. I was gonna say Florida ran all over Kentucky, but quite the opposite.
Florida ran over Tennessee.
Yeah,
False prophesy.
we'll see if Florida can get a little better on that side of the ball. They did pretty well against Tennessee and they ended up beating them, so we'll see. But Florida in away games, besides South Carolina, I'm gonna try.
I got the balls.
The balls.
Yeah, I think the ball.
That's not a fan, but.
So we all picked Tennessee. Oh boy.
Put the graphic up.
Now, dun, 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 dun. The Ohio State Buckeyes. Oh gosh. Yep.
Oh, no! Yep.
Come on.
I jumped on my
Yep, ours gummies, hey, yep.
We'll pick them up later. Alright, so
Do Landon.
at 7:30 on NBC, number 3, Ohio State should be number 1. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Nope.
Favored by 14.5 at Wisconsin.
Why are we coming?
Listen, this
Put
game,
this on there.
I was honestly.
Look, there was not a whole lot of options. I was
You
looking
could have
at
played
it.
at least the JMU game or like the Air Force game.
I thought I can't remember what all it is. I thought like at first like that it could be a closer game than the point spread indicated. But then I remember Wisconsin lost to Illinois last week, and Tanner Mordecai is not playing quarterback, but their quarterback is playing now is not bad. He's a 3-star in his class, number 25 in his class. I think that. I don't know. It depends, man. You could either get an Ohio State team that is worn out physically from playing Penn State last week and riding high off that win and not paying attention to what's going on and just get sideswiped, which I think they're still going to win. Or you could get a team where Kyle McCord finally gets handed the keys after all these weeks to go out and win, allow him to make some mistakes, but to air out the ball. But the thing is, nobody in America is stopping Maserati Marr. Nobody's stopping him. There's no, and I don't care who you put on a DB. I don't care if you put 3 people on him. He's not getting stopped.
There's one person
You
who
just
can
have to hurt
stop
him.
him. 2-2. Javon Bullock, let's go. Come on.
Maybe if he
Yeah,
stops
he's
the back
going.
of the
Let's go.
Maybe he's allowed a malicious hit.
He can't get physical. Let's go. He can't be physical. Let's go.
I think big number 18 scores 3 touchdowns.
Spirit don't
I
even know how to
believe-
spell high.
I believe that I have learned from my mistakes on this podcast
Yep.
about picking against Ohio State. And especially when they're playing Wisconsin, who I have seen literally nothing from all season. I believe Ohio State wins by 28.
If Wisconsin gets a field goal, they might be fortunate. I think
Yeah,
those defenses
the Ohio
will
State
lock them
defense is phenomenal. If the offense can find something besides Marvin Harrison Jr., it's gonna be explosion.
I will say, y'all's offense last week was ugly against Penn
Yeah,
State.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Wisconsin,
This in a lot of people.
well, true.
We
but
get Henderson back, and Buka back, and Burke back this week, so that's gonna be a big help. So
I think this game might be like Dagon 40-3. I don't think Wisconsin's gonna win the ball.
honestly, I can see that because here's the thing. I think Wisconsin's changed a lot also, and how they've gone about their offensive progression.
Yeah, that Phil
They've changed
Longo.
a lot.
Longo.
But I mean, it really relies on number 0 in the backfield. What's his name? Braylon Allen. I think if he runs the ball well, they have a chance to keep it close. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, Nick Singleton and Kadron Allen didn't get it done. And the best tackle in the country, who might I add, gave up a sack and 5 pressures this weekend. Go Bucks.
So he might not be the best tackle. Might be Cedric Van Prien.
Alright.
No, he just faced a really good defense who actually has some good pass rushers.
He really good.
This should be a very
I just feel I can't hear it.
You will.
You go ahead.
You will.
Go ahead.
I thought I heard somebody talking.
No, you
No,
will.
I'll go after you.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, yeah, the offense didn't look amazing last week, but, I mean, you gotta look at it, I mean, we had a true freshman at cornerback that played just as well as our best cornerback who was leaving after this year. We had a true freshman receiver out there, but McCord, I mean, we left 21 points on the board if you go back and watch the game. McCord missed 3 easy touchdown passes if he hits the guys in stride, but, I mean, the defense is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You shut down, to me, arguably, one of the best running back duos in the nation. You made one of the uprising stars look god awful at quarterback. I like the pressure coming off of the defense. And and a top first round cornerback that had his draft stock drop. But I think when we get everybody back this week, I like the way the offensive line is playing. I like the way McCord, yeah, he's still dealing with ankle injury, that's why he can't throw a lot off his back foot, but I think this is gonna be like the game from last year when we played them. But they don't score as many points. I just think that this week is when McCord just starts letting everything rip. I think he dials it all in this week. I think he shows why he's one of the top quarterbacks in the nation right now. And I just think even with everybody coming back, the way the defense is playing, I think they're just sounding all that crap out is happening with that team up north. I think they're focused on one thing, and I think they win the game big. I think they win by 30.
Shouldn't be close, should win by 40 to 50. Shouldn't be close. Wisconsin's terrible.
But I did see something today with Devin Brown being out, they said, we should expect to see.
Lincoln Kingholtz come in and run some of that red zone stuff, yeah.
About the fourth quarter.
Another five star guy. No worries.
I think this is gonna be a very, very easy game for Ohio State. Second string just goes in the second quarter. No, I think this is gonna be a 40, 50 point game. And it's funny because preseason, people were saying that this could be the rematch could be in the Big Ten championship. You were.
I said if this is a game that Ohio State's gonna have trouble with here after the Penn State game.
And I was never fully convinced on Wisconsin. I'm very glad I was never fully convinced on Wisconsin. They're bad. I think Ohio State. I'm still never sold on Kyle McCord. I don't think he's that great of a quarterback yet. I think he's very much helped by his weapons, kind of like how Stetson Bennett was. But I think that those weapons carry Ohio State to a very large victory, and I think Kyle McCord does start finding the stride right here.
I think,
Sorry.
Did you just say that?
It's alright.
That's the thing, I'm waiting.
Did I just like black out or something, wake up to something?
Calm down, buddy. It's all good. It's all good. It's all
You're
good.
trying, I know, but it's just, a lot of people expect Kyle McCord to come out and throw for 400 or 500 yards a game. And at the pace he's on now with the yards he's averaging, right now, if he keeps up the yardage he's averaging, and he's averaging more and more yards every game, he's on pace to throw for more yards than what Justin Fields did this season at Ohio State.
Justin Fields also uses legs more though too. Is that accounted in that too? Is it not or no?
But he's just
Yeah, it's accounted for total yards.
Okay. I think
Just time out one thing, I got one quick thing to say.
Oh, gosh.
Why?
No.
Don't ever disrespect Stetson Bennett at the meeting.
What do you do?
That's all I have to say. That's all I can say.
He won 2 straight national.
2 straight national champions, it don't matter.
Y'all be quiet.
Kentucky had 2 national championships since their
I
program
mean, if
started.
I had to take a pure quarterback, I'd
Go ahead,
take
two.
Ford over Stetson. If I had to take the talent of a quarterback. Now, experience, I mean, to say in college that he's 26, 27, I hope he got experience.
And still.
Why are we still talking about this game? This is gonna be a
Anyway.
blowout. This is gonna be a blowout. Move on.
Last game at 10:30 ESPN, number 11 Oregon State, favored by 3.5 at Arizona. I think Oregon State's a good team, but Arizona's been playing good. They've been playing close to a lot of really good teams. This game is at Arizona. I think they get it done. I think they cover it and win.
I disagree. DJ was never the problem. He was never the problem. Never was the problem. The weapons were the problem.
He's admitted it.
I think Oregon State wins by a touchdown. I think it's a low spread. I think it's still going to be like a struggle for Oregon State because Arizona, for some reason, plays close with every single person that they play, but they can like never get it done like against some good teams besides who they beat Washington State, right? Yeah,
By a
Washington
lot.
State by a lot. But I don't think that happens to Oregon State this week. I think Oregon State wins by a touchdown. DJ.
Like you said, I disagree. I disagree. I think Arizona is a actually decent, good 4-3 team.
Yes.
I mean, they absolutely went. I mean, they scored 44-6 against Washington State.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been playing pretty good. They took USC to what? Triple overtime. So, I mean, I think Oregon State is due for a loss. I think it happens at Arizona.
Yes.
The Beavers.
I think Arizona is I think they play a lot of close games. I think it's probably a breakout game. I really do.
Not to mention they blew out Washington State 44-6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna see another game like that. Not as high scoring, but I think they do hold Oregon State. I think they hold them under 14 points. I think Arizona scores 24.
Dude, this is crazy. So, the 3 losses. Final in overtime, 31-24 against Mississippi State. 7-point loss to Washington and 2-point loss to USC in 3 overtimes.
They ain't gonna get it done.
They're getting it done.
DJ's going to revert back to his Clemson form.
DJ was not the problem.
DJ was not the problem.
Club Nick Dabo, 23, or however they used to do it, Venables and Dabo, I don't know how many he's done, Clemson. That was the problem.
Alright, well, let's
My
move
favorite-
on
my
to
favorite time of the
the
week.
top 4.
My favorite.
Oh, here are the Wildcats, dude.
I'll go first. It'll be quick. 2 really good wins, 2 top 15 wins. Notre Dame, Penn State. Give me the Buckeyes. I know the offense hasn't been explosive yet, but it doesn't matter. Marvin Harrison Jr. is what can carry it, and that's fine. And the defense is back. The best defense in the country right now, Ohio State. Number 2, they haven't played anybody, but they've also been scouting a lot of people. The Cheaters. I'll put them at number 2. That team up north. I don't care for them not one bit, but I think they're a decent team, and I still think they're better than a lot of these others. I'm not really sure. It's hard to, like, 2 through 5 is like anybody in my
Who will be your
opinion.
number 5 team?
Probably Georgia.
I put Oregon
Number
in my
3,
number 5.
Florida State. They turned it up against Duke. I think that's a good win for them, especially after not really playing that well against Boston College early in the season, and that win against LSU is starting to look better and better and better. I think LSU is starting to come together a little bit, so I'll put them at 3. And then 4, Washington didn't score an offensive touchdown. I don't know what happened.
Hangover.
Yeah.
Against a 1-5 Arizona State team.
And that's like, yeah, I mean, anything can happen in this sport, and I think that's why we love it. But I think, well, it depends on what side you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Washington deserves to be number 4. I think a lot of teams have these games that are kind of funky and weird, so I'm giving that one on this past Saturday. So put them at 4.
I basically have the same top 4, but instead I swapped Florida State and Washington. I had Washington at 3, Florida State at 4. That's because like last week I had Washington at 2.
Yeah.
I still don't think Washington's like a really bad team. I think they just had a hangover from that game. So I think they're not the second team in the nation, but I think they're the third team in the nation. I mean, Florida State is still like a really good team. I feel like Michigan, Florida State, and Washington are like all tied for like that spot for me right now.
And I guess I got Georgia at 5, or maybe Oklahoma sitting there. I don't know. Georgia might be my 6th team in the nation at this point.
Yes.
Maybe the 7th team behind Oklahoma and Oregon. Keep on going.
Take you out back, don't ever go to Columbia, you won't ever come home, mental institution, don't ever go.
We on Bull Street.
Bull, yeah, bull, don't ever go there, you won't come home.
I got the same exact thing, Max, you got. Ohio State, they got the best resume right now in the country. I don't think anyone is really arguing against that. 2, I got Michigan. They have started to absolutely blow out people. They were struggling on their offense beginning of the season. Now they're starting to blow out people. We'll see what happens when they actually play a decent team. And then, yeah, Florida State, Washington. I mean, there's a lot of teams vying for like the top 4 spot. You still have Oklahoma, Oregon, Georgia. Yeah, I mean, they're just all kind of tied right now. This is when we need a 12-team playoff. But, yeah, that's mine.
Like, Corzone.
Alright, I got Ohio State at 1. They're the only team that has proven why they should be at 1. They should not getting the 3-letter word that they like putting in front of their name. I'll wait. No, not yet. Number 2, Michigan. I still think that they are still a really good team. The talent's still on the field, whether they are spying on other teams or not. Number 3, I gotta pick the Georgia Bulldogs. Still a really good team, but I think you can kind of switch Georgia, Florida State, and Oklahoma and Washington kind of all in there, like any given week on who's performing a little bit better than the other ones. And then number 4, I've got Florida State. I'm still not convinced on Florida State. They played good in the second half, but those first halves against Virginia Tech and Duke have not been looking great. So I'm not fully convinced, but I still think they're number 4.
They were also losing to Clemson at halftime.
They were also losing to Clemson at halftime. And they did not look good against Boston College.
Vest, you or me, who's going next last, who's going last? You go last. Number 1,
Go ahead, say.
4-letter word, starts with O, ends with O. I'll let you figure out the rest.
OH.
It's like the state of South Carolina, that's the second word. That team first. Number 2,
Wait, hold up, reverse.
state, that's
O. The state.
I'm not saying what y'all want me to say, so be quiet. That mess he got on his shirt, number 1. Number 2, Washington. You come off a big game like that, you have that all the time. It's nothing rare. People they'll go crazy if watch something like that happens. Washington, number 2. Number 3, the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's go. This is our week. It's on the microphone, it's on the podcast. Share it, stream it, do what you got to do. Let's go. Going back to old school Georgia offense. We're gonna take them down. Give me the Dogs. Then 4. I just closed my eyes for number 4. I go with Michigan.
Spygate.
Alright. So, number 1. I'll say it for you. Ohio State. That's the team that, plan on trying to say. You can get it out. Number 2. Let's see. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep FSU there, but for FSU, I don't think we'll see a fully healthy Johnny Wilson again this year. The way he came on and they wouldn't count one of their big time takedown guys. I think they looked at him the way he came on and the way he looked at it. It didn't look good for his knee. Number 3, I have Spygate.
The who?
Spygate.
What team is that?
Where's that located?
It's a little north of Ohio, really, really weird looking. It reminds me of another place down here south of Buford, but I ain't gonna say it.
Is that the team that's gonna whip y'all Friday?
Especially college football. And, first one to say it. With 5 games, you know, it's kind of odd. You're on the gas season the last 3 years was during COVID when nobody was allowed in the stands, but that'll be for another time. And then number 4, I have Washington. Yeah, they didn't look the greatest, but honestly, outside of the 2 spot, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be anything.
Alright, well, I think that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully Florida takes on Georgia. We can talk about that in the next one.
Please.
Dogs prove their point.
As for now, the Extra Podcast is out. All
Extra
platforms.
point. The Extra Point Podcast.
Podcast.
The Extra Point.
You said extra, the extra podcast. We're
The Extra Point Podcast, excuse me. Follow us on Instagram, please. Post some stuff there, and we'll try to get that out for you. We'll see you next one.
Go
Peace.
Hokies on Thursday.
Oh, my God.
Hold on, it's still on.
Oh.